You probably found this video because you're looking to learn how to make a quick strike rig, which is what this is right here. Today, we're gonna tell you what a quick strike rig is if you don't know what it is, and then we're gonna show you what materials that you need to make this, as well as how to actually make it. We're just gonna make this a really quick and easy video, easy to follow along, but this right here is gonna get your tip ups ready to go so you can get on those big pike. It is a super easy way to fish. You'll literally just set the line, get your bait ready, and watch for the flags to pop up. It's as simple as that. But guys, let's get into it, show you how to make this. So to start out, this is a tip up. Typically, if you're looking to fish a quick strike rig, such as this, you're gonna put it on some type of tip up. Some people fish it just off of a regular ice fishing rod, maybe out of a jaw jacker, which is what I do sometimes. But for the most part, fishing it with a tip up like this is gonna be probably the easiest way. And if you don't know what a tip up is, this is an easy way to do some ice fishing for fish just like pike. And what this does, it folds down like this. It's got a little spool of line right here. And then you literally just drop your bait down to almost the bottom, maybe midway in the water column. And then what we're gonna do is set the flag, and you're just waiting for a fish to take it. And when a fish takes it, boom, the flag goes off and you're running after it to try to catch this thing. So that is what a tip up is. So the quick strike rig makes it nice and easy to present your bait in a horizontal fashion. So the herring that I'm gonna use is frozen right now, so I'm not gonna bring it out, but what a herring is, just a little bitty bait fish. Probably, I mean, they come in different sizes. I like anywhere from about a 4 to 6 inch, maybe up to an 8-inch herring. And up here in Alaska, herring is the most prevalent bait fish that you're gonna find in your local Walmart or Sportsman's Warehouse. So it's just nice and easy. But you can put a hook through behind its head and then also one in its tail. And that is just gonna sit like this. So it's nice and horizontal in the water column, makes it very realistic for the pike. And then hopefully it draws some more bites than, let's just say you got some chopped up herring, it's in just little pieces, or if you just have the bait vertical, or if you just have a bait in a vertical presentation. This tends to get more bites than some of the other ones, but that is also subjective. But just in my opinion, I think this works the best. But let's start looking at some of the components that make up this quick strike rig. So what we have right here is just a barrel swivel. We have some beads, some crimps to crimp the line, and all of this is gonna be homemade. So nice and easy. I'm gonna place all the items in the description box. That way you can find them on Amazon nice and easy. I literally just ordered a bunch of new kits off Amazon over 2 weeks ago, and that's what I've been using to make a lot of these new ones this year. On down on the line where it splits off, we have just some Colorado blades, some more beads, the crimp, and then some, I think these are like size 1 hooks. But depending on the regulations in your state, you can go bigger with the treble hooks, and sometimes you can't even use treble hooks. Like I can't even use these treble hooks on a split rig like this in most locations in Alaska. I actually have to fish a single hook setup, which is what I'm also gonna show you. But you can just, you can put any hook you want on this rig. Just make sure to check your local regulations. This is an example of a quick strike rig that has the 2 single hooks, which is what I use up here in Alaska for most locations. But this right here is also very effective. Just also make sure you're using the right size hooks if you're up in Alaska. Usually you can have any size single hook you want. It's where the treble hooks kind of come into play, is where you have to watch out for the different sizes. But let's go ahead. I'm going to show you how to make this and the materials you need to make it. First up, we're going to be using line crimps. So you're going to need a set of these pliers. You can get these on Amazon in a kit. It makes it nice and easy. The same kit, we got these different line crimps. These beads right here are actually just trout beads that you can use for bait. It's just a hard bead. So if you're having trouble locating different components to make stuff like this, you can just use little trout beads like this. So it's the same color as like a normal bead you would put on a rig like this, so it works out just fine. Now these barrel swivels are nice and beefy. That way if you hook into a good pike, these things are gonna hold up. All right, and then we have the Colorado blades. I'll place a link in the description for this whole pack right here. Now, some people like these willow blades. I do too, but I couldn't find any that were small like this. This came off of a pre-made one I bought off of Sportsman's Warehouse, but couldn't find those on Amazon, but that is also a really good item to have. Now right here is what we're gonna use for line. I went with I think these are 20 pound, yeah, 20 pound test, 30 foot long, and these can get a little pricey, but what this is gonna allow you to do is create that really sturdy line so that when those pike bite down and potentially run with it or get twisted, those sharp teeth aren't gonna cut the line. This is just a nylon coated stainless steel wire. This line right here in 20 pound is a little bit less apparent than a bigger line is, so that's why I go with it, and it still holds up just fine. But I go ahead and just order this in 30 feet. That way I can make a bunch of these. So that is all you need besides the hooks. And hooks, like I said, you can get just about any of them. I just get these Eagle Claw lasers in a 3/0. It's just nice and cheap at Walmart, and they hold up. So with that being said, let's get into making this. It's quick and easy, and once you make your first one, it is just super easy to do it. What I'm gonna do is take about 12 inches of leader wire, and I'm just gonna cut it with just some regular scissors. I usually cut it on a slant like that. That way it makes a nice sharp point. Sometimes if you don't, it won't cut all the way through. What we're gonna do is go ahead and grab our swivel, run it through, and then we're gonna even out the line. I'm just gonna hold those like that. We're gonna grab whatever size crimp that you're gonna need for the size line that you're gonna use. We're just gonna insert both of them in there. Once again, I'm gonna make sure these lines are even, and then I'm gonna pull this all the way down. Now, some people will place a bead at the top here. I don't really care. I'm not wasting a ton of beads, so I'm not gonna put one up there, but you could if you wanted to. Once you have that in place, get your crimp pliers, and then just crimp that down real tight. Usually grab it with 2 hands, really squeeze that down. All right, then we have it like that. Now we're just gonna work on one side at a time. What I like to do is grab one of these Colorado blades. And when you're holding your line like this, you're gonna insert the blade down, facing down. So the concave portion is gonna be kind of facing up. You're gonna place that down, and then we're gonna put a bead on next. All right, we get the blade, the bead. Now we're gonna get one of the crimps. We're gonna place that on one side. All right, then you're gonna grab a hook. Grab your hook, and the orientation I don't think matters, because when you're rigging up the herring or whatever bait, you can twist these pretty easy, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna feed that tag end of the line up through that crimp until I see it. Let me see if it focuses. Until I see it poke out right there. And then once I do, I'm gonna grab that main line again and then the crimp, and I'm just gonna slide it down. Keep sliding it down until we get it where we want it. I'm gonna leave a little bit of room right here where this can kind of move around, and then we're gonna crimp it down. Once again, give it a really hard grip there. And these things aren't gonna go anywhere. These things are just freaking tough. That hook would probably break before this crimp would let go. So that is one side down. I do the same thing to the other side. If you weren't following, you're gonna get another showing of it here. So Colorado blade is gonna be facing down. Throw a bead on there. We're gonna grab the crimp. Get your hook. Take that tag in, run it back up through the crimp. Until it pops out. Once it pops out, kind of cinch it back down, leaving a little bit of room there so that hook can kind of move around. And we're gonna lock it in. There we go. And that is all it takes, guys, to make a quick strike rig. Super quick and easy. This right here is gonna allow you to have a better hookup ratio when you're out there fishing, especially if you use the treble hooks, if they're allowed in your area. Those really allow you to have a better hookup ratio. And then these little Colorado blades, gotta give it a little bit of flash, because a lot of times those pike are keyed in on movement, or if they get a flash off of something. And let me add the special sauce to this whole setup, and that is gonna be one of these LED lights. If you've never seen these or fished without them, these right here are a game changer. And what I like to do is just, you can get them to where you can have these inline. So that's what I usually do for trout, but for pike, and I ran out of some of the other ones that don't have the bottom here. But what you can do is, I literally just take that little, like the little keychain ring right there, and I just secure it to that swivel at the top. And then boom, that thing is gonna be flashing and keying in those pike on this bait, or at least get them drawn over to that area that that bait's presented in. And this right here is the special sauce, guys. If you're not running an LED light on your ice fishing setups, then you're missing out on a lot of bites. That is gonna be a game changer. Strongly suggest you start implementing these on your fishing rigs. But I'll place those in the description box as well. All right, guys, so that is all we have for today's video. Definitely get these things made up and get out there and catch you some big pike. These right here are gonna be a game changer for you if you've never used these before. And we're heading into the ice fishing season, or up here in Alaska, it's been ice fishing season for quite a few weeks now. I just haven't got a lot of footage compiled yet, so I apologize for that, but trying to help you out a little bit here too. So we're gonna be posting a bunch of videos on how to do certain things when it comes to ice fishing, such as make quick strike rigs. We talk about how to get your tip up set up correctly, different fishing setups for your regular rods and reels, and just overall gear setup stuff. We're gonna be talking about all that. So please stay tuned, hit up all those videos when we roll them out, hit that notification bell and subscribe button. That way you can get those videos when we roll them out. But guys, today's video was all about the quick strike rig. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, put those in the comment box below. And once again, the description box is gonna have all the materials that we use today to get these things made. So guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in future videos.